Hey everybody, today on Henry's HowTos, I'm going to show you how to make barbecue beef brisket. Let's get straight into it. Alright guys, so what I've got in front of me here is a 2.5 kilo piece of brisket. So what we're going to do is make a dry rub and we're going to marinate this before we do any cooking. So we'll set this aside for now. You can leave it outside at room temperature, that's fine. So just into a small bowl, I'm going to start by adding in half a teaspoon of dried ginger, half a teaspoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of paprika, half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of cumin powder, and about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Now we'll finish this off with about 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Now just give that a quick mix. Now the trick is we don't want this rub to be too wet, so you want it a little bit dry like this, more of a paste. And we're going to empty this entire mixture out. So make sure to get everything out, we don't want any wastage. And we'll start by rubbing the marinade all over our brisket. So guys, make sure you're pushing and squeezing because you want to get that all over. You want a very good coverage, it's very important. Make sure to turn around as well. Pretty much pretend you're kneading dough, to be honest. You've got to put the same love into it. Alright guys, so that's done. So what we're going to do now is just cover this, place it into the fridge for around 2 hours. If you're not in a rush, do it overnight, you'll get an even better flavour. Okay guys, so once you're ready to cook, place your brisket into a large baking tray. You don't have to have it too big, this one fits perfectly, that's all you really need. And we're going to preheat our oven to 200 degrees Celsius. Next we'll cover it with some foil. And we're going to go straight to the oven now. So guys, I'm going to put this into my wood-fired oven in my restaurant. So right now it's set to about 220 degrees Celsius. We're going to leave it in there for around about 3 to 4 hours. We want to very slow cook that brisket. Now the reason I'm doing wood-fired is to get that smoke flavour into it. If you can't do that guys, put it into the barbecue if you can. If not, put it into a smoker if you have that available. If not, you can use liquid smoke. So we'll come back in about 3 hours and check on it. So guys, while we're waiting for our brisket to cook in the oven, we're going to start working on our sauce. Now you can skip this if you want to use store-bought sauce, but trust me, make it yourself, completely different flavour and a fraction of the price. So just into a small saucepan, we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of oil. And just on a medium heat, we're going to add 1 chopped onion, along with 2 crushed garlic cloves, season with salt and cracked pepper. Once your onions have browned, we're going to add a shot of bourbon. Now in my case I'm using Jim Beam. Now you want to be careful because this will flare up as well, like that. So be careful if you're doing it at home. And just let that alcohol burn off. Now guys, turn your heat to low. And we're going to add a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce and about 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And finally we're going to add about half a cup of tomato ketchup. Now turn your heat to low to medium, and all we want to do is start to simmer this. Now we want to cook this for about 10 minutes until we have a nice thick sauce. Alright guys, so it's been 10 minutes so far. our sauce has changed color. It's gone a bit darker now, which is what we want. And it's also nice and thick. So that's perfect. So we're going to switch our heat off now. We'll let this cool down and we'll wait for the brisket to cook. Alright guys, and just have a look at that. This has been 3 hours now. So guys, we're just going to take it out of the oven like so. And we're going to baste the top of it with the sauce that we made. And make sure you give it a very good covering. So be very generous with it. So guys, once you've basted it like that, what we're going to do is put it back into the oven. Now uncovered, because we want that sauce to dry up a little bit and get nice and sticky. And total cooking time now, we're going to just want about 15-20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. Just keep your eye on it. The brisket itself is cooked. All we want to do now is absorb that sauce into the meat. Alright guys, so I've just brought that out of the oven. As you can see, it's perfectly cooked now. It's slightly charred, but that's fine. I prefer that anyway. It gives it a more smoky flavour. So we're going to let this rest here for about 10 minutes before we start slicing it. Alright guys, so we're ready to slice. So a pair of tongs and a very sharp thin bladed knife. And start slicing. And guys, just look at that. So guys, the knife literally just goes straight through. That's how tender it is. And just look at how beautiful that looks. So guys, that's all there is to it. So all you really need is a lot of preparation time, but the rest is very, very simple. Anybody can do it. Now if you're not going to eat this all now, you can refrigerate it, use it for sandwiches, use it for a burger, use it for anything. But just on its own is just absolutely amazing. And if you really want, you can keep all this juice that's in the pan, mix it with some corn flour, you can have a really nice gravy. So guys, simple as that. I hope you like that. Please like and subscribe. Got any comments or suggestions, just leave them at the bottom and I'll see you all next time.